welcome to the Ruth Loves to Knit podcast. I'm Ruth and I love to knit. You're so welcome here today. It is Wednesday the 11th of February 2026 and I'm coming to you as always from Devon in the southwest of England, where I live with my husband Nigel, our two teenagers, Eva who's 17 and Samuel who's 16, and our two wee dogs. And I'm coming to you a bit later than I planned today. It has been quite the fortnight since I last saw you, and today hasn't gone to plan either. So I thought I'd quickly jump on here. I have to go and pick my daughter up in a couple of hours, and I thought I'm just gonna jump on. I'm just gonna come and podcast, and what you see is what you get. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining me, but maybe I'm hoping it'll be a shorter one because due to circumstances beyond my control, I haven't been knitting an awful lot, which I have not enjoyed, but I just wanted to come and share with you some of the projects that I have done, because if I leave it another week it'll get out of hand. So if you haven't been here before, this is not a professional podcast, but I'm so glad you're here, and I hope you have a drink or a project and that you can sit and spend some time with me. Where you can find me, I'll put the wee sticker up. Never know where I'm going to put it because I'm sitting right in the middle, with all my details, and feel free to get in touch with me on any of those platforms. Just want to say thank you to all of those of you who watched last week and were so nice about my husband. He shared a little bit at the end of my last podcast about what he does when it's not pouring with rain like it has been for the last year, it feels like, and I'm just so thankful. He does not like fuss. He is a very quiet, private person, but I think I did say a wee smile at some of the comments that I had to make him read the comments that you left, so really appreciate that. That was just lovely to read. I've got my notes here as usual, just in case I forget anything. There's some corrections I need to make. Sometimes I really shock myself. So last time I talked about a MAL that I was joining. It's a year-long MAL run by Robin of Wellbeing Knits, and it's Mia, not Maya as I kept calling her. She is makes by my Mia. I managed to give Mia a podcast that she doesn't have. Robin from Wellbeing Knits does have a podcast. Go over and watch her. She's got many episodes out that you'll enjoy. But they're doing a year-long MAL, and I called it Mrs. Stashdown 2026. No, it's not called that. It's called MR Stashdown 2026, and the M stands for Mia, and the R stands for Robin. Who would have? Oh, I am so stupid. I wish you'd known me before the menopause, because I used to be quite a tuned in, plugged in person. Anyway, if you want to join that that make along, it is MR, capital M, capital R, capital S, then as in stash down 2026, and that is a hashtag on Instagram, and they also have, both of them have that Ravelry groups for that. So I'll put all the details down below. I know, Mrs. Stashdown, quite like that, but it's not. It's MR Stashdown 2026. Sorry about that. I do apologise. And I've written here in capital letters, we're doing a very informal MAL here. There's no name for it. As you know, if you've watched before, every month apart from July and August in this year, I am going to showcase a smaller designer, a designer that sort of flies under the radar a wee bit. Last month was Woollen Knots, and thank you so much everybody who bought some of her patterns, and I've already put them in the Ravelry group for the finished objects. Intermittently through the year I'm going to be sending out prizes and doing draws, so make sure you get your finished objects in. No hashtag. If you want to tag me on Instagram, that's fine, but it's just on Ravelry and email, please. I'd just like to ask you to really, I mentioned last time that Anne, who is Woollen Knots, had taken very poorly, and she really took poorly. In fact, she had to have a life-saving operation. But she emailed me yesterday, and she's home. She's got a long road ahead of her. Not my place to give out details, but just if you pray, please pray that she would continue her recovery, and that I think it'll be a while before she's knitting or doing any more patterns. If you haven't bought patterns last month when you were on the fence, please maybe go and buy a pattern just to support her while she can't work. And but thank you to those who have bought patterns. She said it made such a difference. And of course, a new designer, get well soon, Anne, please. It's lovely to know that you're home and you're slowly recovering. The new designer for this month, for the whole of February, some of you have already used the code, is JSTdesigns. Now, she's a bit of a bigger designer than some of the other ones we'll be mentioning, but I've had quite a few people still say that they've never heard of her. So she very graciously has given us a lovely discount for 20% off. And for small designers or anybody running their own small business, that is a big discount. So you can get any of her patterns. I think maybe there's an ebook that you can't get, but you can work that out yourself. And if you type in JSTdesigns 20 into Ravelry, you will get 20% off any of her patterns. And yeah, get knitting. You don't have to knit it in the month of the designer. And she has a pattern coming out today, and actually because of the hubbub, we had visitors call in unexpectedly. Absolutely fantastic, but it put the whole plans of the day off, and so I didn't get to look whether she's got the pattern published yet. It's called the Ebb and Flow. I'll put a picture of it, called the Ebb and Flow shawl or scarf maybe. And I have been putting it on Instagram all week that if you joined her subscriber list for her newsletter, you'd get an even bigger discount off that shawl, or scarf. So go and look at JSTdesigns. It stands for I've written it down because I knew I wouldn't. Jennifer Shields Toland. She's Irish originally. She lives in New York now. She's from Dublin. And it's been lovely to be in touch with her through this. And I have knit some of her patterns. I have already got these patterns, so I didn't have to buy any. But she has everything you can think of, from hats to shawls to jumpers to cardigans to everything. So go and check her out, JSTdesigns on Ravelry. And as I say, use that code. And I have many more I'd love to knit, but February is a bit of a shorter month, so we'll see what I have done. As I say, this has been chaos. I usually live a very quiet life. I'm often on my own for many days at a time, and that's how I get so much knitting done. I'm in most evenings. But it has rained here in the UK probably every day. It hasn't rained. It rained this morning, but it's not raining now. And I mean rain, not just a little, mizzle. And it has washed many roads away. There's potholes on every road. Even the motorway had potholes on it. And the train line is still off on the one that my daughter gets to college. It's going to be off. It's been off for 3 weeks now, and she managed to take about 10 days of home study. They understood that she couldn't get in because she gets a bus from our house and then gets a train and back again, and she's usually got a 12-hour day. But this week she has exams, and so we've had to take her in every day and pick her up. There is a replacement bus, but she's been twice and hasn't been able to get on it because it's full. So she was a bit worried that she would miss the time of getting in, because only every 2 hours getting in for her exam. So we've been doing mum taxi, dad taxi, all the rest of it. She's hoping to get the bus home today. We will see whether I have to jump and drive the whole way to Exeter or if I can just go into Oakhampton. We'll see. But Friday's the last day of exams and then half term. And I thought to myself, oh great, half term. And we've just got an email from Samuel's school, because he's doing GCSEs this year, that they're doing revision sessions all through half term. So mum's taxi will be on the go again. And but it's been mostly driving. I sit in the car and knit, but it's been mostly driving. And I was in the other day, and Eva only had to be in for about 4 hours, so I thought I'll just wait. And I started knitting, and you'll see what I knit. Wasn't very successful, so it's just been a nightmare. A first world nightmare, don't get me wrong. I'm being dramatic, but I only have one finished object, and it's a very small finished object, but I love it. And Yeah, I'll show you that in a wee minute. I'll just say what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my Lento. I showed that as a finished, this is a finished object last week. It's knit in Woolly Knit Warthmill DK, and it is the colour Sporting Blue. I think it's actually, that's quite a good colour. I think it's relatively coming up that colour actually. Yeah. And I had one ball of the yarn left, so I made a hat. This is the Riptide hat by JSTdesigns. This is a design, this Riptide design, she has put on jumpers, cardigan, no not cardigans, vest, socks, cowl. I think, go and check it out. I just love it. It is the most addictive thing and very, very easy to just mindlessly knit once you get the first wee bit. Now I have butchered the pattern a wee bit because her pattern has it, you did twice the amount of that and then you did a fold up brim. I didn't. I don't really like the fold up brims. I've only just started wearing hats again since, like, what is this? I have found curls from somewhere. Because of my plans being changed this morning, I didn't blow dry my hair, and this is what drying my hair looks like naturally. So just, I look like a 10-year-old. I did have a clip in my hair at one point, but anyway. And so I just knit a matching hat, too much. I just love it. I did the biggest size. I did the, oh, what's the cast on? I don't see the pattern anywhere. I write it on the screen, but it's a beautiful, look at that, look at the edge of that. That was obviously meant to be then turned up, so that would be the edge, but it's just, look at how neat that is. Beautiful. And as I say, I did the biggest size, so it's the Riptides and then this lovely sort of broken rib. So quick. I think I did it nearly, I think, in an evening and then just finished it off the next morning. I don't sit hats at the best of times, but you know, it's exactly the same wool, but this camera's making it look, I'm not a big slouchy hat fan either, so, but I just love that. It has to come down over my ears, obviously, and it's just, I just love it. You see it? Just think it would be beautiful for a gift as well. Now this is very woolly wool. It's lovely. I love the way that's finished there too. It's very woolly wool, and I don't have a problem with it. And obviously it's matching my jumper. I just used up because I thought, what am I going to use that one skein for? So I just used it. So Warthmill in the colourway Sporting Blue. And as I say, and I did it shorter as well, because the one, you know, obviously if you had that turned up, you would need a wee bit more for the brim. So it was a very quick knit in the version I did. So that's my only finished object. Love it. Oh, it smells so good. I am a yarn sniffer. Anybody else a yarn sniffer? And that's the Riptide hat by JSTdesigns. And I think that if you want to get on your Christmas knitting done or anything like that, and there are the wee holes in the design don't make any difference to the warmth. I just think it's lovely and it just stretches really well. So if you've got big hair, this one would be a great one. It goes from child size right up to large adult size. So very pleased with that. So as I say, that's my only finished object. So we're over the page already. So I don't want to make this a long podcast because I need to get out the door. So whips, I have two active whips and one plan, and I still haven't touched my colourwork vest. Sorry. I just haven't had the courage to go in with literally been out of the house every day, driving some days 4 hours in the car. I've got wool in my mouth, sometimes 4 hours in the car, and I've come home and I haven't had the bandwidth to deal with it. Anybody who is in the throes of perimenopause or menopause maybe knows the anxiety of driving. That has been my worst thing. I've never enjoyed driving, but it never bothered me really, and now it's like the worst thing in the world. So by the time I get home, make the dinner and all the rest of it, I have just needed some round and round knitting. So I'll show you the whip you've already seen in my lovely Babylon leather. I forgot that for a wee minute or two there. My lovely Babylon leather bag that I made myself. sewed myself that they gifted to me. Kind of, there's a theme here today, isn't there? Love this bag. Sorry, it's blown out, but I have a light on because it's so dull. And this is the Jaycee cardigan by Isobel Kraemer. Not sure how well you can see the design on that. I have knit this before, as I told you the last time, and I managed to felt it, but I had it for years. I think I literally knit it the minute it came out in like 2019-18 or something like that there. And I'm using this yarn. Oh, that's showing up. It's a wee bit faded more. It's not as bright as that. This is a cone, and it was 1,050 grams, and I got it on eBay from it's a Knoll Supersoft, and the colorway is Geranium. As I say, it's a paler than that. Sorry, it's so shadowy, but it's just the way the light is today. Anyway, I already knit the creel vest in this, holding it double. So there was, and I've only got another sleeve to do, and I still have all of that left. When I first got it, it was the size of my head, so it's been fantastic to see it going down. That is much brighter than it is. It's a much more salmony pink than that. Anyway, this is how far I've got. If you remember last time, sorry, I'm speeding through. Calm down, Ruth. Remember last time I cast on with a dark yarn and you couldn't see the design, and so I ripped it out and recast on with this, and I think you can say it's lovely. Love it. The dark yarn I was using, I'm doing this because it's down here, it was too big as well, so I went down a size, and I tried it on this morning and it's just fitting lovely. So you can see the design there. Sorry, I don't normally podcast this late in the day. It's 2:30. I normally do it about 9 o'clock in the morning, and the light's definitely different. The fun thing about it is once you get down and you do the hem, I mean, even the hem's beautiful. Like even the designs in the hem. Then you don't cast off. You just go straight up and knit the button band. Button band is just a small wee button band. Sorry. And like, I don't know, I think it was 4 rows or something, nice wee buttonholes, very petite and nice. And then you just go round the neck, and that's all that's all that's needed on the neck. So I have done the whole body, and I'm just down to starting the cuff on this left hand side, and it's just twisted rib. So I didn't do any excuse me, I didn't do any decreases, oh dear me, because I have a large arm, and then I did rapid decreases at the bottom. Hopefully, when I show you this as a finished object next time, you'll get the colour a bit better. I actually googled geranium and they were all not this colour, so but it's really not. It's much salmony, more salmony pink than this. But I'll try and get a picture with the real when it's finished. I just love the detail on this hem as well. So that's definitely going to get done for next time. And these arms have just been brilliant for in the car, just waiting 20 minutes for Eva when she comes, you know, she's coming down to meet me or whatever, and when I'm tired. But there's been so much going on. We have several meetings that we're involved with. We have a meeting tonight on Zoom that we have to take part in, and then I said goodbye to Preeti this week. She's gone back to Bangladesh on Saturday. That was really sad. But oh, what a fantastic time we've had together, and she's taken back so much of my knitwear to Bangladesh with her, and I'm so sad, but it was such a blessing to spend time with her too, so I'm really thrilled about that. So that's the Jaycee cardigan, and that'll definitely be finished for next time. I can't even find a space to put this stuff on. Then this is my other JSTdesigns pattern. I've had this pattern in my library for quite a while, and I cast on. I did a swatch and everything. Can you believe it? There's a story behind this yarn. Always is with me, isn't there? So this is the yarn. So anyway, let's see. Have I got a picture of it? Have I got a picture of it? Yes. So you can do a V-neck or a round neck, and I'm doing the round neck. You can see the Riptide pattern down the front. And then the wee, oh, there's a wee knit Riptide shawl as well. I think that's lovely Jennifer. And Riptide Slipover, it's called. Take me back to where I was. And I was getting on like a house on fire. You knit the back first to the armpits, then you pick up stitches, you knit down the front, and then you join. No problem. Brilliant. This is what I've done so far. And back to the front. Oh, again, this is probably not going to show up properly either. Oh, it is. That's maybe a wee bit redder than that. Oh, it's got a lovely fleck. Hang on, my knee's not big enough to have. See the wee fleck? Maybe I need to move that light a wee bit. Don't want to shine it in my glasses. That's the only thing. That's a wee bit more, but it is a bit more rusty. It's showing very orange. Anyway, you can see all the flecks. There's yellow, there's blue, there's black, there's yellow, blue and black. You can see the lovely design on the front, and I love this. I love the armhole. And I had joined, look, I joined in the round. And then I looked at it, I was knitting away in the car, thinking, oh, this is great, I'm going to have a finished object at this rate of going. Then I saw this. So the front, look, beautiful. You see the wee zigzag zags. Look at that. What's wrong with this? Right. And then I just joined in the round and thought, oh, for goodness sake. Scared I'm going to see other problems here. Look at that. I zigged instead of zagging. You see it? Right down the bottom. How did I not see that? So I have to tink back, but the good thing is once I undo the joining for sleeves, I only have to fix the back and not the whole front. So that's so I can leave the front completely because it's fine and just go back and fix the back. And I went wrong one time before, and I was able to fix it no problem. It's DK, so it goes quick. And the funny thing is, I found it a really intuitive pattern. Once you get it's a four row repeat, and you can actually read, famous last words, you can read your knitting. And then I went wrong. But I think I was people watching. I was sitting in a cafe in Exeter, people watching, drinking tea, answering my mobile, knitting on this. I can't do that anymore. And so I made a mistake. And I'll fix it. See there. See, beautifully, and then it goes straight here. So I zigged instead of zagged, or I zagged instead of zigged, whatever. And anyway, the yarn. I got this yarn ages ago. I bought it was just to clear, I think, or on a sale, and I got 3 lots of it. I did a lento with 1 lot. I still have some, and then I got this one. It's not showing. The colorway is Foxglove, and it's much redder than that. You can see the naps in it, but it's balled up. It's not skeined up. Well, I opened the bag. I opened the package, and the smell of oil of it. I've had this before, and thankfully got lots of tips from you lovely viewers. I couldn't have knit with it, so I reamed it off and put it on my niddy noddy and washed it in fairy liquid. There's still a wee bit, but it's night and day to what it was. So that's why it's knit up in skeins like this. And then I've just pulled it off. I have 4 of these. It's double knitting from New Lanark Spinning Co up in Scotland. And it's 440 meters per 100 grams. But I would say I will only need maybe 1 more of these. I've used 1. All of that, just use 1. So we'll see how I get on. I've even put a wee sachet of lavender in the bag just in case, but I think another block will take all the smell out of it completely. But oh my goodness, it smelled like somebody had dumped it in diesel. The other ones didn't, just this one, but I was able to wash it and sort it out. Have I told you everything I need to tell you? Riptide Slipover. I've written here smelly. So, and the loads of people recommended, well, Dawn dish soap. We don't have that over here, so I just put it in fairy liquid. I didn't agitate it too much, and it was worked really well. The only problem with sitting in this chair is my jumpers bumfle up and then they look like they don't fit. They do fit. And that's in my lovely bag, this torn bag number 10 from Redesigned that I bought between me and my husband for Christmas, but I bought it early and I put it away and forgot about it because I'm a spoiled brat. And I'm thoroughly enjoying using it now, and the smell of leather is beautiful. So that's 2 leather bags. Spoilt, spoilt, spoilt. So that's my 2 ongoing whips. But I would say I'll have, once I correct that mistake, I'll have those done before I see you again. So I was thinking, well, what do I want to cast on? And I was going to cast on a cardigan from JST, but I have a swatch with several, I've additioned to several yarns from my stash, and none of them would really do it. I don't want to buy yarn, although I have some incoming yarn. I don't want to buy yarn, so I didn't have exactly what I wanted. So, and I haven't, you may have noticed, if you're a long time viewer, I haven't knit a shawl in ages. So I'm going to cast on the Ebbs and Flow shawl. I'm going to buy that tonight with using my 20% off, and I'm going to cast that on. But I'm really enjoying the garments, so I thought I need another garment, and there's no rush on these things. There's no, I can just plow away at it and it's fine. And it's another one where all the fun stuff's here and then just round and round and round, which will suit me down to the ground. Now, the pattern is this one. I've been eyeing it up for ages until she published it just last week, and it's from the CreaBea, and it's the Ariundle sweater, the CreaBea. Look at the detail. That is right up my street. I love it. Again, I auditioned, I don't know how many. I was winding off yarn. I was trying things. I was just watching her podcast the other day. And she said she's a very loose knitter, and I could not get gauge even with the I have one skein of the yarn she used, and I still couldn't get gauge. I went up a needle size, I went down a needle size, and then I remembered I had this beauty. Now 99% of you won't like it. But I have had it, I think I've had this even pre-pandemic. It's not how we live. What happened before the pandemic and what happened after. And I got it in a massive sale on Jamiesons of Shetland, and some of you'll say I'm not surprised it was on the sale, like who would wear that, but I love it. You know, yellow. Now it is is there a name on it? Shade 23. I don't think they have names. Sure they don't, I'm not sure. It is, that's the right colour. Hang on, do we get it? I'm going to put it over here. It's blowing out. That's how yellow it is. That's it there. It's a sunshine yellow. It's not as golden as that. It's really this yellow you're seeing behind me here. Let's see if I can... No, there's two. The light on too bright. Anyway, it's yellow. You can see it's yellow. It says 500 grams, but it's a kg. And I'm going to use this. I'm holding it double. So there's plenty. I'm loving holding things double. I'm loving shopping my stash. I'm loving using up so much yarn. And I am clearing out big style and knitting loads of things. And this is going to be used really, really well. And the only thing is it's going against the grain because I love knitting. That do for my my thumbnail. I love knitting from a cone because you've no ends, but I'm going to have to obviously ream some off because I'm double. I can't see the end where I would, maybe I can pull this off, can I? No, it's stuck in. Well, we'll work on it, see what so in theory you should be able to do this, but I don't know if you could or not, but we might try. And I'm going to hold this double so it'll use a good bit of it. And I did a swatch. Look at me doing a swatch. And I got gauge with the recommended needles. Still a bit damp, the swatch. And It's said to swatch obviously with stocking stitch and the rib texture. And you can see I blocked this, but my rib texture, oh, this light's shining too much on it. My rib texture has gone in a wee bit, but actually I'm much narrower here than the rest of my body. So actually, even if it goes in a wee bit, that's going to be all right for me. Ah, why did I turn this light so bright? Let's see if I can. There you go. That's it. So zoom in if you can't see it. I'm trying to show you the pattern. So I did this last night and stuck it in the hot press to dry, and don't know where to, there it goes. And I love it. It's a lovely, I mean, look at this, the stitch definition. Can you see that without it blowing out? I'm going to have to work this out. If I'm knitting with such a bright yarn, I'm going to have to work out how to get the lighting, but it's 10 to 3 and you need lights on to see, so it's as good as we can get. So it's still a bit damp, but I am going to love knitting with that, and that'll be cast on once I get these other two finished. So that'll be another sweater, probably coming maybe just knitted and put away, but I think that's going to be lovely. I was told not to wear bright colours, but I love bright colours, so I'm wearing bright colours. I don't know what the colours I'm meant to wear. I wear everything from white right through to bright yellow. If it makes me happy, I wear it. So that's the Ariundle by the CreaBea. Gorgeous. And of course, there'll be another designer coming up next month, so keep your eyes peeled. So there's a few things to be going on with. I keep hoping I'll get onto the colourwork vest and correct my mistakes, but I just don't have the bandwidth for it at the minute, and there's no knitting police, so nobody's knocked my door to say, have you done that yet? So it's just resting in a wee bag just up to my right, and we'll not get stressed out about it, and that's all right. Right, there's been a wee bit of incoming. That's all in on the knitting front. I did say I'd try and be quick. I just have a couple of things that came in. I was telling myself that I wasn't going to buy any yarn till Big Flock in May, and I haven't, until I went into Exeter and parked right beside Woollen the X. Sorry about that, it's my phone. Probably my daughter saying she needs picked up. And I love that shop. They're so friendly. You're always welcomed in like you're an old friend. And I think on Friday I might go in and knit in there instead of waiting in the car. But they had got some new yarn in that I had seen online, and it's right up my street. I didn't spend much, but I love it. Now there's about 8 or 9 colours. They're all online. They do online if you want, and it's from World of Wool, and it's Wanderer. Oh, this lighting. You see that? Wanderer. It's knit, World of Wool, Wanderer, born in Britain, made to roam. British wool and nylon, 4-ply, so sock yarn, but I don't feel any nylon in it. It's so nice. There's a wee bit of, it feels like a Jamieson and Smith. This one's red currant. I wouldn't say that was red currant. I'd say that's burnt orange, but it's got a marl to it. See, it's not a flat. They do have solid colours, but it's not a flat colour. So I think this would be brilliant for colour work. I think it would be absolutely, because normally if you buy Jamieson and Smith, it's 25 gram balls, but I think this is, or double it up. This is only £6.70, I think, for 100 gram ball. So I got these 3. Oh, that purple is perfect, and that green is perfect. Why do some colours come up beautiful? This one's a much redder, like nearly, I would say, a winey red. Not working, but these 2 are dead on. See the marl in them? Gorgeous. So I bought those 3. So this purple one is Hellebore. Oh, Hellebore. And this one is Bluebell, but I wouldn't say it's particularly Bluebell. I would say it's more green, like an ink green, like a puddle green. Anyway, love them. Go and have it. The proper colours are on the Woollen the X website, and go and check them out. So it's not too bad, and I'll definitely use those. I want to redo what was the Leinster socks by Woollen Knots, because I gave them away, and I might have to double this up or do something with it. But I don't think this would do me for socks. I don't get on well with commercial sock yarn. I just don't. It burns my feet. I know I'm a snob, a sock yarn snob. But for colour work or for a wee shawl or something, this would be perfect. So I did buy those, and then I needed a wee pick me up after all the chaos. And then I had put on Instagram to see if anybody had the Kate Davies book Yokes. Yeah, I know you can buy a lot of the I could buy it online, but I do love a book. And one lovely lady, she hasn't given me permission to say her name, but she knows who she is, sent me this, she said you can have it. I said I'll send you postage, and she wouldn't hear of it, and she sent me a wee book that her husband had written, and I've just started reading it, but I will maybe show it when I get to the end of it. And thank you so much. It was in a lovely wee card with it too, and look at that. So there'll be some of those in my future as well. My eyes are bigger than my belly as far as it concerns the knitting at the moment. I want to knit every. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Oh, this light. Sorry, I really have to readjust this lighting. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'd like to knit something with Christmassy colours. Get ahead. I always say I'm going to knit a Christmas cardigan or a Christmas sweater, and I never do it. So this now, I will definitely get onto this and get one of these knitted. Kate Davies knits all hers bottom up, so I think these would be brilliant for whenever my brain doesn't work very well. So that's it. That's all the incoming. That's all of the yarn. Not my usual amount, but life has just been lifing. In the middle of it all, my mum ended up in hospital. Thankfully she's okay and she's home again. So it was just one of those couple of weeks where literally have never stopped, and I know lots of you are like this all the time, but it's not what I'm used to. And we've been very busy with our work in other areas, not just been raining, but yeah, I'm just glad I'm able to come slot you in today and get it done. Otherwise next week, I don't know, it's half term, who knows what can happen, and I'll be back in the car again. So that's it. Sorry, it's an absolute muddle, and if you're leaving me now, you know I always finish my podcast with a wee something that's been rumbling around in my head, and there's been very little rumbling around in my head these last few weeks. So this could be some. I don't even know if this will be coherent. But if you're leaving me now, I know not everybody wants to stay for this. That's fine. And I won't think anything about it. If you're leaving me now, just keep on knitting, and I promise I'll be back with something better the next time. But I just didn't want to leave it to let it run another week and miss out on talking about the JSTdesigns. Go and buy a pattern, enjoy yourself, treat yourself. Listen, it's February. Instead of the roses or the chocolates, get your hubby to buy you a few patterns. Sure, wouldn't that be far better? Or your significant other, or yourself. Buy it for yourself, a wee treat for Valentine's Day. But I just wanted to share something that has been muzzling around in my head, and again, it might not even make sense. So let's just go for it and see how it gets on. And you know, if you've watched before, I love music. And I love Christian music in particular, and I listen to it most days, whether it's out in the car, in the kitchen, while I'm crafting, whatever. It just lifts me and stabilizes me and helps me just take my eyes off the world and onto Jesus. And as I said, I've been in the car for numerous hours every day for the last 2 weeks, and driving Eva to college and back. And music definitely helps with my mental anxiety on the roads. Oh, it's awful. Anyway, a song came on, and of course I was singing along as I drove. I turned the volume up, and I will read the words to you, and you probably already know it. It's a very popular song, but it just hit differently that day I was listening to it, and it's Unashamed by Matthew West. 3 brothers in a fire, willing to die for their faith, but you were with them in the fire, and they walked out the next day. And Daniel met a lion because he chose to pray, but you shut the mouth of that lion, and he walked out the next day. So what's going to be said of me when it's all said and done? Will I stand for my beliefs, or will I turn around and run? Well, let the whole world hear me say, I'm unashamed. You need to shout that. Of the gospel of Jesus Christ and the truth that changed my life. For the name above all names, I'm unashamed. And I will live my faith out loud, take a stand and stand my ground. For the one who took my shame, I'm unashamed. I don't answer to the crowd, I answer to a king. So the louder they shout, oh, the louder I sing, yeah. What's going to be said of me when it's all said and done? Will I stand for my beliefs, or will I turn around and run? Let the whole world hear me say, I'm unashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ and the truth that changed my life. For the name above all names, I'm unashamed. And I will live my faith out loud, take a stand and stand my ground. For the one who took my shame, I'm unashamed. At the name of Jesus, every knee will bow and every tongue confess. So let it start right now. Before you come back, Lord, before the rocks cry out, I will lift my praise. Let it start right now. I'm unashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ and the truth that changed my life. For the name above all names, I'm unashamed. Yeah, I will live my faith out loud, take a stand and stand my ground. For the one who took my shame, I'm unashamed. You know, the song ended, and straight away I was challenged in my heart. Thankfully, I was near home, or honestly, I think I would have had to pull into the side of the road. Because just the previous week, I'd been in a situation where I didn't live my faith out loud. I didn't take a stand or stand my ground. I remained quiet. I told myself it was neither the time or the place. I justified it to myself that I couldn't or wouldn't have made a difference. As I listened to the words of the song, which I have sung numerous times, it hit hard. I pray every day that the Lord would bring someone along my path that I can share the good news of the gospel with, and have shared regularly through my Christian life. And yet on that occasion, I hung my head and said nothing. It feels like in this world, in these days, you can be anything other than a Christian. You can literally be or believe anything you want. But the minute you say you're a Christian, the eyes roll and the criticism starts. Some of it is justified, don't get me wrong. I can understand this, as the word Christian is often linked to things that are so far away from what my Bible tells me as a Christian that a Christian is or should be. People in power in many places are claiming to be Christians, but yet show zero love for their neighbour and often cherry pick verses from the Bible to suit their own needs. What a different place our world would be if all true Christians, those saved by the Lord's precious blood on the cross at Calvary, committed to the words of the song, and I will live my faith out loud, take a stand and stand my ground. For the one who took my shame, I'm unashamed. That's obviously based on Romans 1 verse 16. For I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believeth. This means not just on a Sunday as we go to church, but the whole week through. We need to ask God to help us to live for him daily. Believe me, we cannot do it on our own strength. We have the absolute best news ever. A complete antidote to the world's worries and fears. John 3:16, probably the best verses known. For this is how God loved the world. He gave his one and only Son, so that everyone who believes in him will not perish but have eternal life. God sent his Son into the world not to judge the world, but to save the world through him. Isn't this message worth sharing no matter the cost to us? And compared to many Christians around the world, there really is very little cost to us. So for me, I have been praying that if I am in a similar situation again, that I will have the courage to speak. And in the meantime, I'm praying that God will work in those folks' lives without me even having to say anything. Matthew 19 verse 26 says, Jesus looked at them intently and said, humanly speaking, it's impossible, but with God, everything is possible. Those are just a few scattered thoughts in my head today. I am not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, but I am human. I will fail and I will fail and I will fail time and time again. But I'm praying, as I said, that the Lord will use me despite myself, in spite of myself, for his glory. And I hope if you're a Christian today, that is your prayer too. I hope that you can say, I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. And as I said, the difference this world could be if each Christian lived as Christians should. I'm not judging. I told you I fell very short these last few weeks. I definitely did. But I hope that wherever you are in the world, that you are able to stand strong in your faith. Maybe you're watching and you don't have a faith. Maybe you don't even know what I'm talking about. please get in touch. Please get in touch, and I'll see if I can help you. I maybe won't know the answer to all your questions. It is not a religion. It's a clear faith. It's not a load of rules to follow. It's a personal relationship with God. And I pray that for every one of you who watch my videos each time I put one out. The world is on fire, but God is still on the throne. God is still in control. There's still a plan, and we have to trust him every day as we follow him. That's it. Bit quicker than usual, still 45 minutes, mind you. I hope that you'll come back next time, where I hope things will have calmed down a bit, and that I'll have had more time to knit and be able to show you some other lovely, lovely projects. I have a sweatshirt that says on it, "I'm nicer when I knit," and it is so, so true. I didn't realise to these last couple of weeks how I use knitting to just calm myself, centre myself, switch off the world, and and I really do feel it. I really do, not knitting as much, but however, it's just a little season in life, isn't it, where have to be full on mum and do the running and do the picking up and everything. Well, listen, have a lovely couple of weeks till I see you again. Stay safe. I hope you find some peace in your crafting. Until next time, God bless. Bye.